What's up, guys? I got the Darton bow out and I made a few changes to it. If you can see, I did get another whisker biscuit and stick on it. So yeah, I got tired of messing with a lay down rest, arrow rest, and I put a stabilizer on it. See, there you go. And it's got the little handle and everything, you know, for the wrist right here. And I noticed it when I was, you know, checking out my video that I did with the last time I shot this. You know, it was a little difficult to pull back. So what I did is I tightened it all the way, you know, for my brace height. You know, I tightened it all the way so it's flush with the bow, you know, with the body of the bow. And then I went up 4 rotations back, 4.5 rotations back, because I like it at 4.5, because that's what my Browning set on. So I wanted to have it almost like my Browning. So, you know, this is the newest purchase I had, but so, you know, just whatever, right? But that's the only changes I really made to it. You know, just tightening the brace height, whatever, and doing that. So in the arrow rest, but that way, I think I hit the bottom there. I'm gonna go check it out. I went through the bottom of the crate. Hold on, guys. I did shoot my Easton at it before I got on camera to check it out to make sure it's okay. But I'm aiming low, so anyways. But yeah, I had to put that arrow rest on there because, you know, it just makes it easier with all my bows. That's what I do. Just put the whisker biscuit on there, you know. And, you know, a lot of people say, put your whisker biscuit out here or whatever. I put it the way I want, but usually I put it up here because that's the only configuration that I can stick it, okay? Because this brace is not wide enough to go all the way to the front, okay? And you can't have it on the other side, okay? So that's why I do what I do, okay, guys? All right. Anyways, I just got off work for real, so, you know, anyway. Yeah, and the stabilizer helps out a little bit. You know, I took this stabilizer off of my Browning because, you know, I don't use my Browning as much as my other bows. So I decided to just, you know, harvest it off of that. But I did buy another whisker biscuit, so all my bows have whisker biscuits, okay, guys? Because they're so cheap, 20 bucks, you know. And you know, I'm not too proud to put a whisker biscuit on my bows because it makes it so much simpler, and I could do this with it, you know. Yeah, anyways, I want to put more work in, put more you know, practice time on this bow, so that's why I did what I did, to get it the way I like it, you know. And it's better that I did what I did on the brace height, because I felt that it was pulling too hard on the bottom. So I you know, I didn't know what it was set on, even though I have these indicators here, you know. I just went by just putting it all the way to the frame of the body and then loosening it up 4.5, you know, rotations. And 4.5 for me, that's the perfect spot for me, okay, guys? So all my bows just about have that configuration. So there you go. And it makes it easier to pull back without arching your back and getting all contorted, you know, because I felt when I watched the video of me doing, you know, practicing with this, you shouldn't have to contort your body to pull your string back, okay? And that's what I felt like I was doing. So, you know, I adjusted my brace height and it's to where I like it now. I don't have to strain and stuff, you know. Anyways, it's been a good day, guys. Whew. I keep hitting that crate down there. I'm aiming too low, but to my defense, you know, there is no sight or anything on this. It's just the arrow rest, you know. There's no peephole or anything, you know. I'm just going by eyeball, so I just have to adjust my eyeball, I guess. Anyways, and I hope you guys realize, I mean, I say it in every video, I'm an amateur and I like doing things my way, you know. You know, I do appreciate everybody's knowledge of archery and stuff, you know, I really do. But, you know, this being my hobby, you know, I want to do it my way, you know. And I'm sure you guys do too. You do it your way, you know. Anyways. And that's a little low, but that's okay. I can deal with that. But I'm not getting too fancy today, you know. I'm just trying to get some practice in. And I thought I'd record a little bit and tell you what I did to my bow. But like I said, you know, now this bow is like my other bows. It's got a little bit more pull, you know, kind of like the Browning does. A good, and when I say slap or pull, it means it's pretty tight, you know. I mean, solid and everything, and I don't have to worry about it that much, you know. Not too much. Anyways. I'm still shooting a little low today. I don't know why. I gotta adjust my eyeballs, I guess. But like I said, you know, I have to put some practice time on this bow. And I did bring my favorite bow out here. And I left the Browning and the Spectra 3000 in the house, you know, because, you know, what's the point in bringing all my bows out? But I like to at least have two bows with me when I practice. That way I can switch out, you know. But like I said, I have to put some time into this bow, you know, practice into this bow. So that way I know all the little, you know, things about it. So. And I'm shooting low on all of them. But like I said, there's no sight on this bow, you know. I'll eventually get a sight, but you know, I'm trying to keep my purchasing down. Yeah, just trying to, but it's tempting, you know. It's tempting. On the ride home, I'm like, should I get some more arrows? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I decided I'd just go home and set up, you know, my practice area and do a little practice. And I believe this stabilizer will help this bow, you know. After shooting it a few times, you know, this stabilizer, you know, I bought at the Academy, you know, a few weeks back, and it worked good for my Browning, so I thought, you know, it'd work good for this one too. So, and it really does. So it might stay on this bow, and I might just get another stabilizer for my Browning, you know. Eventually, not right now. Like I said, I'm trying to limit my purchasing, you know. I don't want to go all crazy, because that's what I tend to do. On every little hobby I do, I tend to, like photography, I had to buy 5 cameras when I started photography, and ones that will load onto my phone and all these special doodads. And I had to, you know. And then you know, then it's music and all that, and I had like 5 guitars, yeah. But I'm gonna try to keep it down, you know. I'll try. It does slap a little on that target though. You know, it's a little quieter than my other bows. I mean, it's a little louder than my other bows. I'm sorry if I misspoke, you know, I do that occasionally. And sometimes, you know, I don't get facts perfect and right, but I'm not perfect, so there you go, you know. I try, guys, I try, you know. I can't please everybody. Now that was in the center of the target, finally, because all my other ones are down low, you know. And I'm not gonna bother just bring the target, the camera to the target, you know. I'm sure you guys have seen it before, you know. Yeah, I really don't have to prove that much to you guys anyway, you know. Not in a bad way. I'm just saying, you know. This is what I do. I practice, you know. I have to get out there and put at least 2 hours in or so every day, you know. Like back when I was in middle school, that's a long time ago when the dinosaurs roamed. You know, I was on a soccer team and I had to play soccer, you know. I just had to, because when I was a child I had asthma, so it was a thing to me. I had to get in some kind of sports, you know, before I graduated school. And I went into soccer for like a season, you know, and it was a big accomplishment for me. You know, it's the little accomplishments you set for yourself that mean the most, okay? No matter what people say or try to correct you, it's what you feel inside. And, you know, those little accomplishments that you set for yourself, the goals, you know, they're personal and you know, they mean something, you know, they really do. They do. Oh, that was a little higher. And that's why I wear a soccer shin guard, you know, because I know it protected my shin back in the day, and I'm sure that it can protect me from getting slapped with a string, because, you know, I'm hard-headed sometimes, and I like my brace height a certain way, you know. I like to feel my bow. I don't like it to feel like a youth bow, you know, with no draw or whatever, no resistance, you know. Like a lot of those newer bows, they don't have that much resistance, you know. Or I'm just speaking from myself, you know. Don't quote me on that, okay, guys? Because I know there'll be somebody out there just tapping away on the keyboard trying to comment, you know, no they don't. But you know, I'm just saying from my experience, okay? That's all I can go by. And, you know, I started from the youth bows and then the hunting bows. So, you know, and I don't have like a Matthews or anything like that. So that's what I'm going by, okay? Okay. Just take it easy on me, okay? Don't get aggravated or irritated, okay? Watch your blood pressure, guys. That was a good one. All right, I got to get my arrows, guys. Okay? Okay. One of them, I forgot to put it knocked it out. I knocked one of the things out, you know, the retainer and the little arrow. I don't know what they're called, but points, arrowheads, whatever you want to call them, practice tips. I knocked the insert out and the, you know, thing. So I have to put another one in. I got a lot in the house, so I can, you know, do that. No problemo, you know. Anyways. And you know, guys, you know, a lot of people, they put on a show and stuff, and I just don't I don't do that. What you see is what you see, you know. I I practice, and you know, I do put a lot of thought into my videos, you know. So, you know, I'm only human, so I make mistakes. So, you know, if the facts aren't perfect, or, you know, if I make a mistake, don't take it out on me, guys, okay? I'm just making videos and practicing and, you know, enjoying my hobbies, you know? Don't take it out on me, you know? Just take it easy. That was in the center. And I guess I will show you this time, you know, after I finally hit the center after 1,000 tries. Yeah, okay. We'll just take a little walk over here. And, there you go, guys. See? And this one's like another arrow I have. It's a bully, a B-man, or B-man, and on it, you know, it's a carbon fiber, and it says 70 pounds of max draw weight. So you know, I have different different arrows. So, you know, I don't stick to one arrow all the time. I change it up, so I know, you know, so I can just do things, you know. It's hard, guys. I'm trying to practice and make videos too, you know. Anyways. And I don't know if you guys can see. I'll take it off. I'll take my time, slow down a little bit, and I'll show you. Things happen, guys, you know. Things happen. I'm still okay. Anyways, there you go. If you can see, center of the target, the two green ones are. This one was a little off, but it's okay. That's okay. And I'm gonna shut you off so I can pull these out, and because I'm holding the camera right now. Okay. Back on track. All right. Yeah, I like these arrows. I was really debating whether to get some more today, you know, since they are cheap, you know, $12 an arrow, and then you get they're half off, so, you know, $6 an arrow, and then you have tax, whatever tax is. It's not bad. But, you know, the reason why I buy cheap arrows is so I don't destroy my good ones, you know, because the Eastons are they're more expensive than these are. Yeah. And that's right next to the other one. Gluttony.